to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 26th and 27th February 2025 together. So before starting with our analysis, I want to make a small announcement. We in Rathods Science Academy, we are going to start new batch for Prelims cum Mains Foundation. And this course, it is going to be for 9 to 11 months. And every day you will be having just 5 hours of classes, and you will be having daily answer writing practice and as well as weekend test, and even in between you will be having a revision test. After entire course is done, you will be getting a clear cut plan for the prelims, and prelims test is going to be included. And even this course will be having your GS along with CSAT and as well as essay, and even ethics will be dealt, and experienced faculty will be taking classes. Only optional faculty will be dealing with your GS here. And one more thing here is they will teach from basics to advanced level, and every day you will be having current affairs here. And we do provide material for your GS which is very advanced, and even every month you will be getting monthly current affairs compilation also. So these are the facilities of this course, and we provide both on online and offline. And if you have any queries regarding this course, you can contact us on the number 8074765513, and even you can text me on this WhatsApp number as well. And if you want to talk to directly to me, you can visit our academy, and I will be available in the academy, and you can directly have a contact with me. Thank you so much, guys. And now let us see the first important article. And if you see the title of this article from yesterday's newspaper, so first article is US sides with Russia at United Nations and calls for swift end to war. So actually it is not a new topic. In our last class also we discussed that US and Russia, they are going to come together and they are going to end this Russia-Ukraine war. So this article is a continuation of earlier article. So from which subject it is important, guys? I'll write here itself. That is from international relations, from GS paper to this article is important. Why we have to read this? So here, which are the countries involved? US on one side and Russia on another side. And US is India's friend, and even Russia is also India's friend. But what happened recently in this USA? That is elections. So in this election, Trump 2.0 era came into picture. And this Trump 2.0, it is not much favored for India. So why? Because recently he started imposing of tariff on iron and aluminium goods. So in that, even India is also there. India is the fifth largest on which tariff will be imposed. So that it will be affecting obviously India's interest. So that is the first issue. And next one here is deportation of illegal people. So deportation of illegal migrants from India, they are coming back. And already 3 rounds, even they are using military aircrafts to deport these people. So it is also having impact on India and US relations. And the next important area here is they want to focus on bilateral things, not on multilateral. Even here, US wants to remove its membership from WHO, right? That is a thing. And next one is recently US made an allegation regarding USAID, and whatever the spending that is coming under this USAID, so they said that they also used for this increasing of voter turnout, and this statement had been not accepted by India. So because of this series of events which are happening between India and the US, so it is affecting India's concerns directly. Okay, and now here US and as well as Russia, they are coming together to end this Russia-Ukraine war. And actually initially, if you see the current affairs of August month of 2024, there we discussed that yes, India is also helpful, especially for what? For ending of this Russia-Ukraine war, and even India wants to negotiate these things. And Indian Prime Minister, he went to Ukraine for a visit, and there he already gifted Bhishma cubes like that. So all these things we discussed, right? So from all these things point of view, this article is important. And now let us see here in detail. So on the anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, that is around third anniversary. Now this is third anniversary here. So in this United Nations Security Council, they adopted a resolution, and this resolution had been drafted by United States. That means they want to end this. So here even you may get a question regarding this United Nations Security Council as well. So UNSC is there in your international relations syllabus. So you have to see some basic facts regarding this UNSC, like when it was formed, so who are the members, and in members we have permanent members. They're also called as P5 members, and we have temporary or non-permanent members. You have to see about these members and what are the roles and responsibilities of this UNSC, and you have to know about what is this G4 group and what is this coffee club. Okay, and you have to see about why India is fighting. So India is fighting for permanent membership. So why India is fighting, and you have to see about what is the criteria to get this permanent membership and how many criteria India is meeting. So why India is fighting for that. So all these things that you have to know, guys. And from this area, you can expect a mains based question this year. This year you can expect a mains based question. You have to be very much careful. So why it is in news? In United Nations Security Council there is a resolution which had been adopted, and this resolution had been drafted by US. So what is this resolution? To stop this Russia Ukraine war. So this resolution which comes as US president aims to mediate. So now US want to show its big brother attitude. Okay, so wherever it goes it will be there. That is big brother attitude of USA, and they want to mediate this peace between this Ukraine and as well as Russia. So here the 3 years to the day since Russia's full-scale invasion on Ukraine. So Ukraine started full-scale invasion on on this Ukraine. So it had been around 3 years, right? So finally, in this United Nations General Assembly, they adopted two resolutions on resolving of this conflict. And out of these two resolutions, one had been done by US and another had been done by the party, that is Ukraine. And here they want to come up with a peace between these two countries now. So if you see about this Russia and US talks, so now in the recent past there is a shift in this Trump 2.0 era. So if you see clearly, US and Russian officials they held their first major talks in Riyadh since Russia's 2022 invasion. So from this 2022 invasion onwards, so US and Russian officials they held first ever major talks in Riyadh now, and they want to reset their relations. And next one here is whenever we are seeing these talks, so they're also going to have some agreement to restore embassy staffing, and even they want to explore economic cooperation, and even they came up with the talks to end Ukraine war as well. So this is nothing but we can see in this Trump 2.0 era, there are some changes in their policy. Okay, and next one here is Trump also views Russia as less of threat than China. Than compared to that of China, Russia is less threat to USA. So because of this, they are going for de-escalation of this Russia and Ukraine war. And US also had shifted stance on Ukraine's NATO membership as well, and they call that this membership of Ukraine is impractical, and also ruled that security guarantees for Ukraine, but they will not going to give you like NATO membership. So Ukraine is not part of US-Russia talks, despite losing over 20% of its territory and thousands of lives, with no role in discussions about its future. So this is one of the cause of concern regarding this Russia-US talks. And now let us see the next article. See the title, guys. Child trafficking unearthed in Hyderabad. 11 people arrested. So we are not at all bothering about who are those people, why they are arrested like that. So just the keyword you have to see is child trafficking. So what is the keyword? Child trafficking. So how you have to prepare this topic? So child trafficking is there in your syllabus, right? For example, if you see your GS paper 2 on a polity, you have a chapter called as FR, Fundamental Rights. So in that fundamental rights, you have rights against exploitation. So those rights against exploitation, so one example you can take is child trafficking, human trafficking, arms trafficking, right? So from there you can read this article. And next one here is you have to see some dimensions like what is this child trafficking. First you have to understand what is this child trafficking, and next why this child trafficking happens. That means what are the causes or what are the reasons of this child trafficking in India. and you have to see what are the acts which are present to prevent this child trafficking in India. So acts and as well as laws you have to see. And next one is you have to see what are the measures can be taken to control this child trafficking in India. And even this child trafficking can be a potential situation based question in your interview, or else even you can get directly a case study in your GS paper for ethics. So in this way you have to prepare for this topic, guys. And now let us see here. So this article is clearly saying that around 11 members in a gang, they had been arrested in because they are having some connection with child trafficking. So if you see about child trafficking, it is one of the important problem in our country, and even whatever the statistics, what are the data we have, which is mainly showing that it is a very severe concern in India. So according to NCRB, that is National Crime Records Bureau, so it is saying that there are around 3,466 reported cases of child trafficking in just 2019, and even UNICEF also estimating that approximately 1.2 million children, they are trafficked worldwide. Across world, every year you can see the amount, that is 1.2 million children. It is very, very high. And next one here is the majority of the children trafficking in cases in India, which involves forced labor. So after child trafficking, they are included in this forced labor, and even sexual exploitation of the girls. And next one is child marriage are happening, and domestic servitude. So it is all these areas. So here these are some important problems of this child trafficking. And especially in India, which states are having high rate of this child trafficking? West Bengal, Bihar, UP and Maharashtra. So normally northern areas where there is TFR is very high. So what are the reasons for this child trafficking, guys? The first one is there is a very huge demand for this labor and even commercial sex exploitation. So for this there is a very huge demand. So because of this they are going for child trafficking. And next one is social inequalities and discrimination. So especially marginalized sections of societies like scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, so who are facing social discrimination, they are disproportionately affected by child trafficking. And this one is if you are poor for the economic opportunities, so families who are living in poverty, they often fall into the prey or to these traffickers who promise them for the better life and the better life for their children. And this one is because of lack of literacy, lack of awareness, also child trafficking is happening. Especially there is a practice of selling of children to the brothels in certain regions. So that is also supporting child trafficking. Okay, so these are some important reasons. And if you see what are the laws and acts which are made by Government of India, so first one that you all know, that is POCSO, Protection of Children from Sexual Offence Act of 2012. Especially this act will deals with sexual offences against children. Okay, and even it provides protection during investigation as well as trial. And next one is we have Bonded Labor System Abolition Act of 1976, and this act which prohibits child trafficking. And next one here is Immoral Traffic Prevention Act of 1956, and this law which criminalizes commercial sexual exploitation. And under this law there will be also rescue, rehabilitation and repatriation of victims. And next one is we have Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act of 2015. Under this act, they mainly focus on giving of care, protection, rehabilitation of children so that they can control child trafficking. So these are some important points that you have to remember, guys. And now let us see the next article. See the title: Coast Guard helps secure India's sovereignty, stops illegal infiltration, says Rajnath. So here Rajnath, he is nothing but a very important person, right? He is nothing but defense minister of our country, that is Union Defense Minister. So whenever such kind of personalities who are giving any statements, that will become very important for your UPSC preparation. So now you have to see about what is the role of Coast Guard. What is the role of Coast Guard? So how this Coast Guard helped to secure India's sovereignty, and how what are the steps they took so that they stopped illegal infiltration. So these are the points that you have to squeeze from this article. Okay, so if you read the title, then you can easily understand so how you have to squeeze the matter and which kind of questions can be asked in UPSC. You can guess, guys. So one example here is, so what is the role of Coast Guard and how you are securing our sovereignty, and what are the steps they taken so that this illegal infiltration is stopped. And this topic is important from your GS paper 3 under security. So it is important from your internal security. What is the role which played by the Coast Guard? So if you have done your internal security classes in your course, then you will be knowing about who are these Coast Guards and what are their roles, what are their mandate, what are their powers, so what can they do, like that. Some basic idea that you will be already knowing. So now let us see here this article in detail. So actually Indian Coast Guard which had made significant changes and significant steps they took so that they started securing our India's maritime borders. And even Coast Guard plays a very important role in maintaining sovereignty. So that is a thing which mainly said by our Defense Minister Rathods Singh during 18th ICG investiture ceremony in Delhi. So if you see some important points, what you have to remember here is, yes, because of this Coast Guard, we are effectively managing and we are effectively strengthening our maritime security. So here they are providing proper surveillance, and as well as they are having good enforcement strategies. So with that strategies, they are protecting our maritime borders, but not only borders, but even they are instilling confidence in the people, in the nation's ability to combat piracy as well, and to maintain global waters also. And next one here is impact of drug seizures. So even they went for seizing, that means nothing but banning or like catching of this illegal drugs, which is around 37,000 crore. That means we can understand that they are play a very important role in drug enforcement. And even this kind of operations they're done by this coast guards not only disturbs this drug trafficking, but even they can also improve the conditions of usage of drugs in our country, and even they will be having huge implications on the public health and as well as safety. And next one here is, even this coast guards will also helpful in going for this humanitarian operations. They will also help in conducting of some rescue operations and providing some medical assistance, so that this coast guard is also having dual role. And even in this era of emerging cyber threats, so even this Coast Guard is also very helpful in shifting of this operational focus. And this cyber attacks, they can also disturb the communication navigation system, so that they will be having consequence in this maritime safety. But even though our Coast Guards, they are very well enough to handle the cyber attacks as well. And even this Coast Guards plays a very important role in ensuring sovereignty and as well as internal security as well, because they are stopping illegal infiltration through these borders, and even they are improving the national integrity, so which is one of the essential component of defense strategy of India. And even one important challenge, they said that yes, we need to adapt to the uh, technology, because now we are having good technology for signal jamming, GPS spoofing, etc. So because of this, there is increased nature of maritime threats. So we can use some advanced technology so that we can train our coast guards, so that we can ensure our challenges that will be addressed properly. And next one is, if you see some facts regarding this coast guard, so here this Coast Guard had been constituted in August 1978 under one act. That act is called as Coast Guard Act of 1978. And if you see some important things, that is nothing but, so here this Coast Guard, it is a national coordinating agency for maritime law enforcement, not only for enforcement but even maritime search and rescue, and as well as marine pollution response. So which ministry will be taking here, that is Ministry of Defense will be taking care of this. And what are the initiatives they had been taken to strengthen our Indian Coast Guard? So first one here is interagency maritime exercise. So here Indian Coast Guard participates and it will also conduct various maritime exercises and operations. For example, we have this SAREX and we have Sagar Kavach. And not only that, there is also increased responsibility. In 2009, Indian Coast Guard was additionally designated as authority responsible for coastal security in territorial waters. And this one here is, they're also going for coordination between state and as well as central agencies as well. So in this way they will take lot of steps to maintain territorial sovereignty and as well as against infiltration into our country. And let us say the next article. So title says women shifting from unpaid domestic work, government survey. So it is a very important article. So this article is saying that women, they are going for empowering, especially economically. So as you all know that women in the house, they are responsible doing of care work. For example, caring of their children, caring of elderly. For that there is no proper pay. Pay will be not given, right? So it is coming under unpaid domestic work. So whenever there is an increasing of literacy, increasing of awareness in women, obviously what happened? So women will come out and women will participate in some economic activities. So that is the thing which mainly said here. So women shifting from unpaid domestic work towards paid domestic work. So it is very, very important. So now let us see the important thing, like what is the context. So if you see the context, so this article is saying that in one recent survey, that is time use survey. So in this time use survey, who conducted this? That is National Statistical Office. So National Statistical Office conducted a survey called as time use survey, and this survey revealed that yes, there is a shift in the participation of men and as well as women in employment related activities and domestic responsibilities between 2019 and 2024. So here from 2019 and 2024, according to this survey done by NSO, it says that there is increasing of participation of women in economic activities. Okay, and if you see the percentage of women engaged in paid employment has risen. Okay, earlier it is 21.8 percentage, that is men percentage, it is increased to 25 percentage. Sorry, so women percentage had been increased from 21 to 25 and men's participation had been increased from around 71 to 75. That means around 4 percentage of increase of participation of men and women in labor force had been done. So this is about this report. And if you see some important details, the first one here is there is shift towards paid employment. So women, they are shifting from this unpaid domestic care towards paid services. So they had been increased from 21 to 25%. There is gradual shift from societal norms. And the next one here is enduring domestic responsibilities. So despite of decrease in time spent on unpaid domestic services, women still dedicate a significant amount of time in doing some work. So they will be doing their care work like caring of their children, doing some domestic work like cooking, washing, cleaning, and taking care of the elderly in the elderly in the family. Apart from that, even women, they can spend around 305 minutes daily. That means around 5 hours of work they can spend in some economic activities. That means we can understand that women may be entering the workforce in greater numbers from this traditional gender roles. So because of this, we can understand that yes, women can also participate in this labor force, so that we can increase women labor force participation as well. And next one here is educational engagement of women. So here normally women in a house will be spending some amount of time regarding learning abilities of their children. So as you all know that mother is a first teacher for every child. So here the significant time the children spend on learning related activities, that is around 413 minutes daily, will be spent by women on their children. Because that means we can understand that women also taking care of education in the family routines as well. That means families are increasingly prioritizing educational outcomes. And next one here is the comprehensive survey scope. So this survey is saying that around 1,40,000 households they had been studied, and they belongs to both urban areas and as well as rural areas. So in that data they understood that yes, most of the time we can see that women are engaging in the care roles. Not only that, they're also getting sometimes, if they are also getting sometimes, so they are trying to invest in economic activities. And if you see from rural areas to urban areas, there are some regional variations. Okay, so here Women need to get proper awareness and as well as proper training. Obviously, we can improve this female labor force participation, and that will be helpful for improving of our growth and development of the country. So that's the thing that you have to learn from this article. And there are two editorials here. If you see, the first one is wild and safe. So this article is talking about human wildlife conflict. So what happened was in Kerala, elephant attacked and people were died. That means increasing of human animal conflict. There is increasing of conflict between wildlife and as well as humans. So why these animals, they are coming outside, they're attacking humans? Because what is happening here is, so animals which are present in this region, that is called as habitat of these animals, so it is destructing, it is decreasing day by day. So because of this decreasing of this habitat day by day, then what happens? So they will be not having proper space, they will not get proper food, or like they will not get proper water, everything, and they will be coming outside of this habitat. So whenever they are coming outside of this habitat, they will come in contact with humans, and there will be clash which happens between humans and as well as animals. So this is called as human wildlife conflict. So here the key word you have to see is, the key word that you have to see is human animal conflict or human wildlife conflict. So both are same, human animal conflict. So here you have to see what is this human animal conflict, and you have to see what are the possible causes, why it is happening, and next you have to see what are the steps can be taken by government. And here you have to see not only steps taken by the government, and here you have to see what are the steps taken by local communities, okay, so that they will not come in contact with these animals. And here you have to see use of technology, how we can use technology so that we can minimize or we can decrease this human animal conflict. For example, solar fences we can use, for example we can use the natural fences, for example we can use some alert systems. So like that, how we can use the technology so that we can decrease human animal conflict. This topic is very very important, and for surely in 2025 you can expect a mains based question on this, okay. So don't regret if you get this question, if you're not writing properly in your mains, don't regret, don't say that ma'am didn't said that. So I'm also saying now, just see that you may get question regarding human animal conflict for sure. So you will be getting questions regarding causes and as well as steps can be taken, or like they may ask you to suggest some measures. That means way forward also you may get in your question, okay. And let's next see the next topic here. If you see the next topic, it is talking about India should end net curves, especially when imposed without a good reason. So I already said in the last class that there was a report regarding internet shutdowns. Yes or no, I said. So here in internet shutdown, the first country now is in Myanmar. Second one is India. So I already showed you this bar graph also, which given in that article. So again there is one editorial in yesterday's newspaper. So this editorial is saying that we should not like they are saying that yes, we can impose this internet shutdown. Internet shutdown is good, but whenever we are imposing internet shutdown, we need to have a good reason. So without a good reason, there should be no imposition of internet shutdown. So why? Because whenever we are stopping internet, so if there is no internet in this class, then what happen? Can I download the PDF? I can't. Can I go for the live? No. So because of this, my fundamental right is getting affected and your fundamental right is getting affected. And if there is no internet shutdown in this area, so if I want to order any food on Zomato, or if I want to order anything on Amazon or anything, so can I do order? No, I can't. That means the trade is also getting affected. So whenever trade is getting affected, it will be affecting our overall economy, right? So whenever we are going for imposition of shutdown, so why we'll go for imposition of shutdown? To control information sharing, to control misinformation, and also to maintain proper rules and regulations, and to maintain law and order, to curb the violence. For example, recently in Manipur they imposed shutdown. Why? Because there is issue which is going on between metis and cookies, and even there is a very fast spread of misinformation. So because of this, to control that, to stop this information to get to the people or citizens, so they will impose this shutdown. And even if there is any nationwide exam is happening, so if there is any internet means mass copying will happen. To stop that mass copying and to ensure merit based thing, yes, we need to impose a shutdown. That means this article is saying that internet shutdown is not wrong, but whenever we are going for this internet shutdown, we need to have a right reason, and we have to reduce the imposition of this internet shutdown so that we can ensure fundamental rights of people. That's it, nothing more in that. Don't complicate the things of reading all this data, everything. And next article here is, should a third language be compulsory? So actually in your polity you will be studying about this three language policy or three language formula. So three language formula had been introduced in this national education policy of 1968. In 1968 is in itself it had been came up, that is three language formula. So in this actually this policy and official language resolution which mandate that teaching in Hindi as a language in non-Hindi speaking states. So normally if you see in your school days you will be having first language, second language and third language. That is called as three language formula. So normally we have northern states and we have southern states. So northern states are Hindi speaking states and this southern states are non-Hindi speaking states. So according to this three language formula, so even in the southern states also, this Hindi to be tagged as one of the language. Okay, normally we'll be having English. English is the medium, and apart from that, your mother tongue will be there. For example, if you're from Telugu states, Telugu. If you're from Kerala, Malayalam. If you're from Tamil Nadu, it is Tamil. And apart from that, one more language here is Hindi in non-Hindi speaking states. Okay, so that is about three language formula. So actually here recently Acer report came, and Acer report said that about 60% of students who are in class 5th, they could not read even second class level text. That means second class level textbooks also they are not reading, who are in now 5th class. And the report of 2023 says that 25% of youth in age group of 14 to 18%, that means teenage people, they could not read even second class level book. Okay, that too in regional language. In regional language, they cannot clearly read this second class book. And even in 2011 census data, which says that 26% of Indians are bilingual, only 7% of Indians are trilingual. That means they know English, they know their mother tongue, and as well as Hindi. Only 7% know. And if you see in our southern states, so most of the students they don't know Hindi, and even I too don't know Hindi, to be frank. And here this corresponding figures, if you see the figures in urban areas, it is 44% who knows bilingual and it is 15% who knows Hindi. Okay, and if you go to rural areas, it is 22% who are bilingual and about only 5% who are trilingual. So already if you see the practically the data is not supporting this three formula, but why we have to go for this three formula? That is a thing which is there in news. So just see about what is this three language formula and what is the advantages of this three language formula and what are the disadvantages. If you are making that clear cut notes, then your work is done, guys. And now let us see the next article. So if you see here title, it says India US in talks to mitigate impact of reciprocal tariff. As you all know that, so Trump 2.0 era started. In this Trump 2.0 era starting itself, he signed some resolutions which are imposing tariffs. For example, 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico, and as well as 35% on China. And later on, he gave one more statement that we are going to impose tariff on aluminium and iron and steel products. So in that, India is also there. India is the fifth country, right? So because of this, now we are going to talk about this tariff. Okay, so once this is done, you will be getting more articles, then we will be going to have the detailed discussion. As of now, we have to remember what happened in the history and what is going on now. And if you see the next article, so this article is saying that South's share of Lok Sabha seats will not be affected by delimitation, says our Union Home Minister, that is Amit Shah. So here this article is talking about one important keyword. So what is that keyword? Keyword is delimitation. So you have to know about this. So this is very important from your GS paper 2 under polity. So here you have to understand what is this delimitation, what is this delimitation committee, and in how many times in India we came up with this delimitation. So what are the advantages of this delimitation as well as disadvantages. So all these things that you have to know, guys. And now let us see some important facts regarding delimitation. So delimitation is nothing but we are dividing constituencies based on the population, so that each constitution will be having equal number of population. Okay, that is called as delimitation. So delimitation means the process of fixing of number of seats and as well as boundary of territorial constituencies, so that it will be based on the population. So why we have to go for delimitation means, so whenever there is increasing of time, there will be increasing of population, or there will be changing in the demographic, population number changes. So if we had came up with delimitation of constituencies in 2001, now we are in 2025. So the change of population might be happening, right? So because of this change on this population, so we have to go for again redrawing of constituencies. So number of seats, it should be in according to the proportion of population. Okay, so that is called as delimitation. And it also includes determining the seats to be reserved for STs and as well as STs. So if we came up with the data of population, for example, if we find so and so amount of population of SC is there, so and so amount of population of ST is there, so based on that we are going for reserving of seats for SC and as well as STs. And next one is, so this delimitation process is performed by Delimitation Commission. So it will be set up by the Parliament. And as of now, around 4 times this delimitation had been done. That is in the year 1952, 1962, 72 and 2002. And now if we get this 2024 or 2025 data of population, and again we can go for next delimitation. So if you see which of the articles deals with this delimitation in our constitution, so we have Article 82. So under this Article 82, Parliament enacts a delimitation act after every census. And Article 170 deals with state also divided into territorial constituencies after every census. So we have article in central level and as well as in the state level. And if you see what is significance of this delimitation, why we have to go, so we can ensure fair representation of Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly seats according to the population, so that we can ensure one citizen, one vote, one value principle. And next one here is equity. So whenever we are adjusting these boundaries of territorial constituencies, so it will be helpful for ensuring of equitable distribution of seats. Each and every constituency will be having equal number of seats, so that we can ensure equity. And this one is, we can also go for proper reservation of seats for SCs and as well as STs. And we can also ensure this principle of federalism. That is nothing but proper distribution of powers between state and as well as center. And even we can even go for taking of proper control measures of population as well. But what are the concerns? So the concern here is, yes, there is disparity. If you see northern area and southern area, where TFR is more in northern area, that means population is more in northern area, and in south there is a less TFR and less population compared to that of north. So whenever we are going for redrawing of constituencies, then what happen? So in northern there will be more number of seats compared to that of southern. So here this one of the important concern of this delimitation is, yes, because of this lack of TFR or changing of TFR between this northern and southern states, so northern states will be getting advantage of getting more number of seats. So it is one of the problem which is raised by southern states, and this problem is said in that article directly. And next one is inadequate funding. So because of this 15th Finance Commission recommended, so they are going to give the less amount of funds for this delimitation. And next one here is, it will be also affecting the reservation for SCs and as well as STs. So these are some important concerns. And next is the next article. So this article here is cancer related mortalities increased faster among women in the past decade. So this article is saying that 3 out of every 5 women, okay, 3 out of every 5 women in India, they are getting cancer. So here, because of this cancer, there is increased mortality. That means nothing but death also is increasing faster, especially 1.2 to 4.4 percentage every year, which is increasing of mortality because of this cancer. Okay, so here this article why I selected, because you have to make one online database. That name of the database is Globocan. So here there is a chance of getting a question regarding this Globocan. So Globocan, it is an online database, and this database will provide global cancer statistics and even estimates and incidence of cancer in 185 countries. For how many types of cancer? For 36 types of cancer, and for all cancer sites combined. So here you may use this example as a case study whenever you are writing about improving of science and technology, how it will be helpful for managing of diseases. For example, Globocan, which is an online database which will provide information regarding all kinds of cancer for 185 countries. So if you write in this, you can increase your value for your answers. And let us see the next article. So title says coal-fired power plants in India cut rice wheat yield up to 10%. So from this coal thermal power plants, regarding this, there are many articles which are coming in the news, and you may get prelims based question regarding this coal. So how can you expect the questions? You can get a question regarding coal reserves in India. In which of the following states the coal reserves are present? And second, they may ask in which of the following states there is a high production of thermal power. And you may get types of coal like anthracite coal, bituminous coal, lignite coal, and peat coal. And next, you may get questions regarding uh, thermal power plants only. So which are the biggest thermal power plant in India? Like that also you may get question. So actually this article is saying that, this thermal power plants will release more amount of carbon dioxide emissions. So because of this carbon dioxide emissions, what happened? There is increasing of global warming, right? So because of this global warming, there is climate change, right? So because of this climate change, it is decreasing agriculture productivity. Agricultural productivity is decreasing. For example, rice and as well as wheat. So in this there is decreasing of productivity of 10%. So whenever there is decreasing of productivity, what happened? That will leads to food insecurity. And if food security insecurity is happening, means what we have to do? We have to get this food from other countries. That means we have to go for imports. If we have to go for imports, we have to pay in dollars. That will leads to decreasing of forex reserves, and that will leads to increasing of trade deficit. So this is the flowchart that you have to write. So how simple is it? So that is the thing which is there here. So because of increasing of carbon dioxide emissions, there is increasing of climate change due to global warming, and now that is leading to the decreasing of agriculture productivity. So how you can use this article? So whenever you are writing any answer regarding the question like coal thermal power plants, so if you are writing about negative impacts, you can also add this negative impact because of this emissions from this coal power plants or coal or thermal power plants, that is decreasing 10% of agricultural productivity. In brackets you can write rice and wheat. So in this way you can use this article, nothing more in this. So especially in West Bengal, UP, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh. So in these areas there is decreasing of productivity of rice and as well as wheat. So commonly here rice is seen in both Uttar Pradesh and wheat. Right and wheat is seen in this Uttar Pradesh and one more area, that is Punjab. In Punjab and UP, both this rice and wheat is affected, and wheat is affected in Madhya Pradesh and rice is affected in West Bengal. So mostly you can see northern parts only. And let us see the next article. Article says scientific risk assessment prior to undertaking tunnel work is a must. So in the last class, I discussed in detail about what are the reasons for this tunnel collapse in this SLBC in Telangana. So that is the thing which is given clearly here. Nothing additional point. In last class, what are the notes I gave? Just refer that. So here just you have to see about location of this tunnel, where it's located, and what is significance of this tunnel, what is the length of this tunnel, and what is the geology of this area, and you have to see what are the possible reasons for this collapse of this tunnel and what can be done. So I said four important points regarding the what can be done. Those 4 points are given here. That's it. So see that article and revise that notes. And next article here is why PWD is worried about this DPDP rules. So here you have to focus on DPDP. So DP is nothing but digital personal, and another DP is nothing but data protection. So it is nothing but Digital Personal Data Protection Act. Okay, so actually we got this act in year 2023 itself, that is digital personal data protection, and now in 2025 we came up with these rules. So just you have to see about these rules regarding digital data protection. Okay, so this article is important from your GS paper 2 under governance. So now let us see the gist here. So if you see the gist, it is saying that under this rule, so there is one section called as section 9 subclass 1, and this section is clubbing children with this persons with disabilities. The first important concern with this new rules is they are clubbing children with people with disabilities. But in this people with disabilities, not only children we have even adults, but there is no separate thing for adults with persons with disabilities section. So it is one cause of concern. And here adult PWDs who have legal guardians, consent for use of any personal data must be obtained from guardian consent. So there is no separate column for this PWDs, but they included this adult PWDs with guardians. So guardians, they have to give the consent regarding using of information of this PWDs. That means their inbuilt fundamental right is getting avoided or violated. Why? Because now it is not their consent, it is their guardian's consent now. So it is one cause of concern regarding giving of information. And next one here is legal guardianship for PWDs while not mandatory, it is governed by 2 laws in India. So here they said that here guardians will be giving consent for using of personal information of this persons with disabilities. But who are these guardians, where it is written? So there is no mandatory of guardians for this PWDs. But under this there are just 2 acts, that is RPDD Act and as well as NT Act, which are mainly mandating the different roles of guardians appointed under this act for adult PWDs. But here they are saying that guardians will be giving consent, but who are those guardians? So there is no mandatory for guardians. So this is second important issue. And next one is small survey done among these 91 PWDs, which is done by a think tank called as PACTA and Saksham Disability, and they said that 27.4% of them had legal guardians. That means those guardians are recorded under this RPWD and as well as NT Act. But what about other 73%? They had been not having any legal guardian. So amongst all those respondents who knew which law their guardianship was governed by, so most said that they are under RPWD Act, okay, and they are having a very limited guardianship. So these are some concerns here. So regarding this new rules of Digital Data Protection Act, so there are some issues with this persons with disabilities. The first one is children and persons with disabilities had been clubbed together. Second one is there is no adult PWD column. And next one here is for adults the guardian will be taken care of. But who is guardian? So nowhere it had been written. So if it is a legal thing, means it will be registered under this RPWD Act and as well as NT Act. But whatever the survey they did, only 27% of the PWDs they have legal act, but not others won't have. So how can they give the consent? So this is the biggest question mark regarding this DPDP rules now. Okay, so these are the important topics that appeared in our today's and yesterday's paper. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much guys for watching, and please do like this class and share this class, and don't forget about this foundation course. And if you have queries, you can directly talk to me, and do subscribe to Rathods Academy.